What's up, sports fans? What's up, world? This is MC Ron with his co-host.
It's Kenneth.
And we are keeping it 10 toes down. We are the sports podcast that always keeps it real about sports talk. And Cowboys fans, Cowgirls fans, I need y'all to calm down. Alright, calm down. Y'all at 100, y'all at 1,000, just because, sorry, I hit my mic, but just because y'all be a washed up Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I swear to God, yes, it was their first playoff road victory since 1992. Now, watch, you hear that, Cowboys fans. But the thing is though, in a strange way, this is the way I want them to be. Because one of the reasons why I felt like the Cowboys were going to lose, because a lot of people were actually sort of giving the Bucs a huge chance to win. A lot of people were down on the Cowboys. A lot of people were talking trash about the Cowboys. So, you know, they were put in a position where they were in the quote unquote underdog role, basically. But now that this victory has happened, Cowgirls fans are starting to beat their chest again. You know, they feel like you're going to the Super Bowl, and this is exactly where I want. It's okay, though. It's okay, Cowgirls fans. Because, listen, once again, y'all beat up a washed-up Tom Brady. First of all, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers benefited from a garbage division, just like my Commanders did in 2020. We benefited from a garbage division. That's the only reason why we made the playoffs. We weren't a playoff team. Same thing with the Bucs. The Bucs were not a playoff team. No matter how Cowgirls fans, you know, would like to make it up in their mind that hey, that we beat a great team. No, you didn't. No, you did. The Buccaneers were never a playoff team. If anybody has watched, you know, if anybody has watched Bucs games, and I watch a lot of them because, you know, they're always on the prime time and all that stuff. So, you know, they're gonna, any team that Tom Brady's on, they're definitely gonna push. So I watched Bucs games. I'm like, Tom Brady looks washed up. The defense was the bright spot was their defense, but like offensively was complete garbage. If their defense did not keep them in games, because honestly, most of the games they won, they should have lost. Like they should have had at least about 3 more losses on their season. That was a 5-12 team masquerading as an 8-9 division winner. If they were in the NFC East, if they were in the AFC West, if they were in any other division, maybe not the AFC North with the Jaguars and all that stuff, they may have had a chance there. But like if any other division, they would have been like 5-12, 4-13. They would have been. So man, Cowgirls fan. We're recording this podcast on January 18th, 2023. And so we're going to go ahead and start review all these wild card games. We're going to go ahead and start right here with the Cowboys versus the Bucs, the Monday night wild card game. So KJ, how did you feel about this game?
Honestly, since Tom Brady is like what was he like 7-0 against the 7-0 against the Cowboys coming into this game, and you know his great playoff record and Dallas's not so great playoff record and this, that, and the third. I don't know. I just had a feeling. I had a feeling about the Cowboys so much so that if I was a bet man, I would have won some money because I knew Dak Prescott was going to throw over 250 and 4 touchdowns. But yeah, I mean, pretty much like you saying. Cowboys fans, y'all need to simmer down a little bit. I know y'all beat the GOAT and we beat Brady, but Brady is how old? Like Brady is as old as like some of y'all dads. You know what I'm saying? Like, please stop. And we knew that they're coming into that their defense was going to be the bright spot of it. And if their defense kept it in bounds, Tom Brady loves to come back at the end of games. They scored most of their points in the fourth quarter, but it didn't really matter because Dallas was already mollywopping them at that point.
Exactly.
And it just like I don't know what the Bucks play calling is. Like, how you have an old back like Tom Brady, ask him, y'all ran 80 plays. You asked him to throw it 66 times.
But the Bucks don't really have a running game, to be perfectly honest.
They should have a better passing game, and they kind of don't. Points, at least.
But yeah, we've said on this podcast that Tom Brady's watched. I don't care what the stats say. You can throw all these stats out that you won, like he threw for over 4,500 yards, whatever, blah blah blah. Did you watch the game? First of all, a lot of his yards came in garbage time. That's first. That when the team started playing prevent defense, or they played soft zone defense. All right, Tom Brady, no matter how washed up he is, no matter how washed up a quarterback is, you play a soft zone, a garbage quarterback can complete a lot of yardage against soft zones. All right, so I definitely watched up Tom Brady can. So, but yeah, throughout the whole season, you saw the Bucs offense just out of sorts, and people will say, will complain about, will say what they want. Tom Brady. Like even in the game, he missed on a lot of throws. There are a lot of throws that he missed on, like completely missed. So, yeah, I'm like, what, Cowboys? You want a cookie? You want me to like these Cowgirls fans are like throwing parades and stuff like that. The Bucs aren't a good team. The Bucs were not a playoff team. They made the playoffs strictly off their division. They were just like my Commanders in 2020. My Commanders in 2020 they were not a playoff team. All right? They were not. Same thing with the Bucs this year. They were not a playoff team. They just benefited from a garbage division because somebody had to win that garbage division. Somebody had to. And they were just a beneficiary. And people thought that the Bucs were going to play better because of what they did in Carolina against your Panthers in Week 17. That game was just a blip on the radar. It was not the trend. What was the trend with the Bucs the whole entire season? Their offense was trash. Tom Brady was washed. He missed on a lot of throws, but they could win. They could win games because their defense kept it under 20. That was the blueprint for the entire season with the Bucs. Winning every single one of their victories, even in their comeback victories, their defense was still able to keep was able to keep the team under 20. But so for you using the game against Carolina as a reason why they were going to beat the Cowboys, especially after the Cowboys got their asses whooped by my team, like the Commanders, in Week 18. That's another reason why I felt that the Cowboys were going to win this game. I thought there was many factors going into it. The Cowboys laid an egg in Week 18. People were going to people were going to heavily doubt them because they're like, hey, they get their asses whooped by the Commanders. What do you think the Bucs are going to do? But if you were a football fan, if you were a actual diehard football fan, you would know that just like how that week 17 game against the Panthers and the Bucs was just like kind of a blip, not the trend. That week 18 game where the Cowboys faced against my Commanders was kind of an aberration game as well. So, yeah, whatever. We'll see. Your next test, Cowboys, comes up this week. Then I'll change my tune if y'all win this next week coming up. I really will. But let's go ahead and talk about this next game, which was I would guess Brock Purdy's what playoff game coming out party.
Man,
The Seahawks at the 49ers. So, KJ, how did you feel about this game?
I just knew there was no chance that Geno Smith had in winning this game. I didn't know that San Francisco was just going to put up 41 points though, and their offense definitely looked like it. It's just something about Christian McCaffrey, man. Like, I even played with him in Madden the other time that was the first time I played Madden in years, bro. I played with Christian McCaffrey. Like, this man is a cheat code. Like, what? No wonder San Francisco be out here killing it. But yeah, to CMC's 119 on the ground, and one receiving touchdown. There was nothing Seattle couldn't do. They don't have enough firepower, and their defense isn't bad, but it's not enough to. I don't really know if anybody's defense is enough to keep in San Francisco.
Yeah, this game was like I watched this whole entire. I watched this game. I did miss bits and pieces, but like I think the 49ers went like 10-0 at first, and I thought, okay, they're getting ready to just run away with this one. But then the Seahawks hung tough really throughout the first half, definitely in the second quarter. I know it was 17-16 by halftime, so I was like, okay. I thought the Seahawks I thought this was gonna be a pretty close game, and then the third quarter happened, and the beginning of the fourth quarter, and then I think they had a fumble, and then they had an interception. Like, turnovers came. It's just then the avalanche came afterwards. It was like the 49ers were like, "Listen, Seahawks, we're gonna let y'all hang it around the first half. We're gonna play with y'all a little bit. We're making it interesting for y'all, and then we're gonna assert our dominance in the second half." And that's what just kind of happened. The 49ers asserted their dominance. Once the 49ers got up, I think like 31-17, that was game over. The Seahawks team isn't built to they're on the team to handle a double digit lead, to come back from a double digit lead or like a 2 touchdown lead, especially late in the fourth quarter. It was just because and especially after that interception, Geno threw, I think that's when it was 31-17, and then they scored another touchdown, and I was like, yeah, it's game. So, but the good news, Seahawks fans, is y'all may have lost the playoff game, but y'all got a top 5 pick. How many teams can go to the playoff and still get a top 5 pick?
I don't know what they're gonna do with that one.
That's the one. Like, and speaking of which, where do you think Geno? Do you think because of that the Seahawks and Geno Smith had, do you think they re-signed him? I think I asked this question
for at least another. Yeah, we talked about it, but you have to keep him. You have to keep him at least another year. You have to, because then you know what I'm saying. You might not get one of the 2 best quarterbacks in the draft. So, this year. So you might as well. If you do decide to draft like a developmental quarterback, he can sit behind Geno.
Definitely. I mean, or do they draft? I think do they draft a top 5 wide receiver? I think Jackson Smith and Njigba from Ohio State. I think he's coming out in the draft this draft. And for the funny part is he's forgotten about ever since Marvin Harrison Jr. just burst on the scene, and now people are seeing him
not dropping no passes and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And people are like, hey, Marvin Harrison Jr. is better than Jackson Smith and Jing, but people just forgot about him. Just a side note, that just how crazy that wide receiver room for Ohio State in like a couple years ago was. Think about it. They had Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jackson Smith and Jigma, and Marvin Harrison Jr.
They
just the season before last, huh?
I said they're always stacked.
Yeah, so that's just crazy. That reminds me of the Alabama wide receiver room with Jerry Judy. Was it Jerry Judy, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, and Henry Ruggs?
Yeah.
That's when Tua was there. That's why he was able to throw it all over the pond. But getting back to Geno Smith, I think you might, if you want to, especially if they're going to extend him, that's I still think I feel like both. I do agree with you, KJ. I think they should extend Geno for just at least 1 year to see and then add another offensive piece to see if he can actually improve on his performance this year. But because I wouldn't realize it, like pick up Jackson Smith and Jigma in the draft with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. I like that wide receiver trio.
Hey, you got a running game and
exactly
Kenneth Walker.
With Kenneth Walker. Yeah, so I would actually like that. And you know what? Seahawks, you need to draft for the 5th pick Jackson Smith and Jigma, because I think he's going to be the number 1 wide receiver, or whoever it is. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really looked at any of the draft information yet. But the next game we're gonna go ahead and talk about is another day, another comeback. The Chargers at the Jaguars. You go ahead, KJ.
Bruh, this was crazy. So something in my spirit told me like Jacksonville was gonna come out and show out, but I didn't want to listen to it. I didn't want to believe it. So y'all heard me last week. I picked the Chargers. No one else should have picked the Jaguars. But it's crazy how y'all, what they were down, like 27 to nothing.
Yeah, 27-0.
27-0. And y'all come back on a 31-3 run. This your first time ever in the playoffs. This the Jags' first time in the playoffs in I don't know how long. As a franchise in general, they probably since they had Maurice Jones-Drew.
No, 2017. 2017. That was the year they beat the Steelers and then almost beat the Patriots.
I can't even tell you a player on that roster.
Remember that was a Saxonville team with Yannick Ngakoue and all that. And Leonard Fournette was on there with Blake Bortles.
Bortles, good lord! If they had a better quarterback, they might have went all the way. But this time they do have a better quarterback. They just have to. He cannot. I understand out here throwing, 4 touchdowns and everything like that, but you cannot throw another 4 interceptions in the playoffs, especially not in the playoffs. You could do that probably like week 1. You might get away with it week 8, but week 19, basically, nah, bro. Tighten it up.
But yeah, I went to sleep on this game. It was 24-0, and then I think Trevor Lawrence threw his 4th pick, and I was like, "This game is over," because I was already tired from like all day, just running a rip and running all that stuff. So I was dead tired. So I'm like, it's 24-0. I was like, this game is like boring because the Chargers are just dominating. Like I said, Trevor Lawrence was throwing picks left and right. So I'm like, yeah, this game ain't getting no better. So I went to sleep. I wake up. I go to ESPN. I was like, let's see how much the Chargers won by. I see 31-30. I'm like, I was so pissed. I missed one of the greatest comebacks in playoff history.
Literally.
Exactly. Like, I missed one of the greatest comebacks in playoff history. I'm gonna tell my kids this. like your father missed the greatest one because I was so tired and I was like, this game is over. Like, once again, Trevor Lawrence was looking like complete and total ass. I mean, like I said, throwing picks. I'm like, after the 4th pick, I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm checked out. I'm too tired. I'm not about to watch Trevor Lawrence throw a fifth or a sixth pick, so I'm going to sleep. Once again, I'm like, how in the world, Chargers? And all of this reinforces one thing. That the Chargers are the AFC version of the Atlanta Falcons. No matter what they do, no matter how much hope they give their fan base, they're gonna find some way to piss it away.
They're keeping their head coach too. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, and that is like,
why would you not go for Sean Payton?
Like, I'm like, whoa! Like, you saw, okay. Brandon Staley, I think that's their head coach, deserved to get fired this season before this one for doing a timeout in the Raiders game where the Raiders were playing for the tie. Like, all he had to do was let the time run out and they would have went to the playoffs. The Raiders were going to play for the tie because they're like, you know what? It don't matter if we tie. We're going to the playoffs regardless. The only thing that would have happened is they would have screwed the Steelers. Like, and then Brandon Staley in his own infinite wisdom said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and call a timeout and cost his team a playoff spot. Then this year, you blow a 27-0 lead. And I think it's I think it's because also they didn't really call any running plays in the second half that you kept on passing the ball. When you get a big lead, the main thing, especially when you have a big lead in the second half, the main thing is you keep that clock moving. Especially when you got a 25+ point lead, or 20 point plus lead, you run that ball. You keep that clock moving. All right, you keep that clock moving because that clock at that when you got over a 20 point lead, that clock becomes your best friend. Of course, you don't go into super conservative mode, but you find that healthy balance where you can be timely aggressive while also keeping that clock moving. And so then that way you use your timely aggression. You're still able to pick up first downs, still able to get some scores up, a couple more scores up, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, whatever have you. Get probably another touchdown up on the board, another 1-2 touchdowns, probably a couple more field goals. And guess what? You win going away. But Brandon Staley don't do that, man. He's all about blowing. He's about blowing 27-0 leads.
And they had the nerve to fire. I think they fired the GM and the offensive coordinator. No. They fired the offensive coordinator and the quarterbacks coach.
But not
the man making the decisions. Herbert can throw for 5,000 yards 2 years in a row, but the quarterbacks coach got to be the problem. Got to be the issue.
Yeah, exactly. The offensive coordinator got to be the problem, not the like you said, not the man
not
who's
the decision maker.
Exactly. That's why they pulled to us. Commanders, we fired the offensive coordinator, but not Ron Rivera. Like, what the hell? Like, he was the guy who made the decision to start Carson Wentz in that game against the Browns, and it cost us a playoff spot, and you're telling me he's not. You know what? Let's move on. Back to the Chargers.
He cost Atlanta Falcons too, because y'all would have been like the first team ever, the first division ever to have 4 people in the playoffs. Man,
listen, man, we're moving past that. We're moving past that. That's all in the past.
It's history.
Either way, Chargers. You're the Atlanta Falcons of the AFC. I'm sorry that you guys got to keep your head coach, but I guess sell the team, Spanos.
At this point.
Sell the team, Snyder too. But all right, so the next game we're going to talk about is This is the most surprising game of the week. The Dolphins at the Bills. KJ.
I just thought that, like, I literally sat here and told y'all that this Buffalo versus Miami game is not going to be like the last Buffalo and Miami game. And lo and behold, the scores were so similar, if not on the head. Like, the thing that shocked me the most is y'all did this with Scott. Y'all put up 31 points for Thompson, throwing 2 interceptions. Wow. I mean, at the end of the day, they should have never. I mean, they should have never been that close. But y'all wasn't going to win anyway. But I'll give y'all merit points for putting up 31. I can't really say holding them to 34, but
I mean, this game once again was a lot. Was a lot. You know, I think the Bills played. I think the Bills are dark. Well, yeah, they played all 3 of their games this season were very close. I think the first game the Dolphins won by 2, then the Bills won the last games by 3 points. They played very close games with each other. I mean, also, but yeah, the fact that Miami Dolphins fans, our man Johnny, y'all don't, yeah, exactly, man. Hang your heads up high, because like the fact that I thought y'all were gonna get blown out by 20 plus. Like I said, I originally had this game 34-10. I was right about the Bills scoring 34. I just didn't think that the Dolphins were going to score that much, and they did. So they really impressed me. The Dolphins really impressed me. I mean, this was a very close game. Like you said, Scott Thompson scoring 2 picks, but yeah, they're still hanging tough with the Bills. It's just they actually had their starting quarterback. If they had Tua, they might have honestly won this game. But like, this just goes on to coaching. This just shows you that, hey, Mike McDaniel, he's a good coach.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's a good coach. You go.
Out of him this week. Is that you know what he's doing?
Yeah, he's a good coach. And the funny part is, the Chicago Bears, I think they interviewed for Mike McDaniel, and they decided to go, let's go with Eberflus. Woo-hoo.
Eberflus. I would have looked at his last name and be like, no.
Yeah.
Next.
But yeah, I feel
like this slot of the playoffs was kind of going to be a wash anyway, because whether it was going to be Miami or the Steelers or God forbid New England again in the playoffs, they was going to get watched by the Bills. It really didn't matter.
But the thing is, the Dolphins didn't get watched, but like I said, they.
Well, yeah, for sure.
They hung tough, like we said. Mike McDaniel, if anything else, what I took away from this game is Mike McDaniel is a great coach. And also it feels like he belongs in Miami. Like he has the look of a Miami head coach. Like look at Eric Spoelstra for the Miami Heat. They look like
look like they could be related on
exactly. You see? Yeah, like seriously, like he has the look of a Miami coach.
Hey, did you know
he's got the tan on it? Like he looks like a coach of a Miami professional sports team.
I feel like to be a head coach of Miami, you look like you have to be found on the beach.
Exactly, and that's
in your job description.
Exactly, and that's what Mike McDaniel looks like. So yeah, he just looks like. I really hope they like. I really do feel like y'all keep this man around. Like I feel like y'all found y'all coach for the next 5, 10, 15 years. Now, once again, we got to see, but early on, first year. You look like he looks like that they found their next head coach for the next 10, 15, 20 or so have you years. All right. So, but all right. The next game is the Giants at the Vikings. The Giants beating the Vikings in Minnesota. This was a rematch of the Christmas Day game. So, KJ, how do you feel about this game?
The last Christmas Day game, the Vikings won because Justin Jefferson went off 133. TJ Hockenson, like we said, 109 and 2 touchdowns. I didn't think TJ Hockenson was going to have that many yards again, but he didn't have the touchdown to go with it. But the Giants, addressed the issues that they made last time and replanned accordingly and shut Justin Jefferson down. And I really think that was all that they needed to do. Even though the Vikings have weapons on offense, like we said, like they were the worst 12-5 team.
13-4
into the playoffs. 13-14. Thank you. Going into the playoffs, like we knew that they were flaky. I kind of didn't really. I still don't believe in the Giants. I don't know how they're here. Every time they play, it's always a question mark, and I always pick the other team because I just don't believe in the Giants.
You better start believing them.
Man, we're gonna get into that. But yeah, they shut Justin Jefferson down, and that really just cured all their problems.
You ain't gonna give you put some respect on Danny Dimes' name.
Man,
put some respect on his name. Danny Dimes.
I put the same amount of respect on Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones' name this week as I do Dak Prescott beating Tom Brady.
Nah. Listen.
Not impressed.
I need more respect on Danny Dimes' name. Put some respect on Danny Dimes' name. I gotta give it to the Giants, though.
Minnesota has a terrible defense.
Hey, one thing I have to say is, first time on team in the 10 toes down, I switched my pick mid pick because I was about to pick the Vikings, but I switched it around to the Giants, and guess what? This time it worked. Why? Because I'm telling you, it's something about the Giants. The Giants. Every single time they've gone on a long Super Bowl run where they end up, winning the Super Bowl, they've always been the underdog. Think about it, like the New York Giants, ultimate underdog franchise, because they always win Super Bowls when they're the underdog. They never win the Super Bowl when they're favorites. Think about it. There are 2 Super Bowls against the Patriots. Think about it back in the I think it was like the 80s and early 90s. When they beat the Bills and stuff like that, when they got off and they beat the 49ers, like a lot of those times, those teams with Phil Simms and Jeff Hostetler, like they weren't looked to as the sexy pick to go on to the Super Bowl. Like even in the 80s, it was the 49ers, it was the what are the teams? I think it was the Bears. I think even at that time you had my team, we the Redskins at the time. What other teams? I'm just pulling from just my football memory, but there are plenty other teams that people picked ahead of the Giants. And once again, going into 2000, 2010s, you had a whole bunch of other teams. You had even when the Giants won their first, when Eli Manning beat them. Patriots. People were thinking about the Patriots. People were thinking about the Cowboys. People were thinking about the Chargers. People were thinking about any other teams but them. But guess what? They ended up upsetting all those teams. Then moving to 2011, people were thinking about the Packers, the Patriots again. All these other teams but them. So Giants are watch out for the Giants in the playoffs. They always win Super Bowls when they are not supposed to. When people are not, they are the ultimate underdog franchise. All right, they are the ultimate underdog franchise. So, but But shout out to the Giants. Appreciate y'all for making me look like a genius. I almost thought I was about to be wrong, switching my pick, mid pick. But the thing is, I just remembered something about the Giants. Like I said, ultimate underdog franchise. Danny Dimes, I got to call him Danny Dimes right now because I got to put some respect on Daniel Jones-Lay. He played wonderful, running and throwing the football. I mean, once again, he doesn't really have any real receivers to speak of, but yet he is still doing what he needs to do so his team can be successful. Just imagine, and I really do believe that Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, he deserves a contract extension. He deserves that same contract extension that Geno Smith. Give him about a year or two. All right. Let's see what Daniel Jones does with some actual offensive weapons around him, other than Saquon Barkley. But anything else? Anything else you had to add?
Nah.
But the last game we're gonna talk about from this wild card weekend, KJ ain't gonna like it, but we gotta talk about it. The Ravens losing to the Bengals. You go ahead, KJ.
I am not upset. Let me tell y'all why. I am not upset because I know that the Ravens since week, let me see how many weeks we got this year, 18, probably since like week 12, have been missing Lamar Jackson. And every week it just gets more and more and more and more crucial that we need Lamar Jackson. I'm happy for Tyler Huntley, you know what I'm saying? He did actually way better than I thought he would do. He had a couple deep passes down the field. But we just were never gonna beat Cincinnati. I'm kind of shocked that we had a chance to win. I'm really shocked that we had a chance to win, and I'm really mad that this just set on me, ladies and gentlemen. Both of the Harbaugh brothers lost in almost the same way this year. Because if y'all do not remember Michigan versus TCU after JJ threw that bomb to Roman Wilson, you know what I'm saying? There was called back and it was on the 1. Then what did we try to do next? We tried to run it up the middle, do something funky and fumble and went back, and then the momentum shifted. We never got it for real. This time, the score was 24-17. It could have been 24-17 our way, but we was at the 1. I like the 2. And we did a quarterback dive, and he decided to jump 2 yards away from the end zone instead of just running it up the middle and getting pushed into the end zone like you're supposed to do. So I'm just like, it's like, oh, we were so close, but it's just like, dang, I didn't expect us to even be in that position anyway. I'm kind of now looking more forward to the future because I got some questions for the people up in Baltimore, but we're gonna get to that in a second.
Yes, definitely. We're going to get to that in a very close second. But more on this game. Why do I feel that the Ravens should have won this game? Because I have no I felt, even though y'all have injuries, even though y'all were playing without Lamar Jackson, without your starting quarterback, I felt y'all should have won this game. Y'all should have won this game. I felt like the better team lost. And it's crazy to say because y'all had imitation Lamar Jackson.
Yep. So imagine, even J.K. Dobbins said if we had Lamar Jackson, we would have won that game. And I think that for sure. If we had Lamar Jackson in this playoffs at all, we really might go to the Super Bowl. But since we did not, my expectations were like at 0. So anything we did, I was like, okay, that's cool. But
now, Question: because of this game, do you think John Harbaugh and Greg Roman need to be fired? Because I've been seeing that as well.
Absolutely not. Maybe Greg Roman, but definitely not John Harbaugh. No, that man is a great coach. That is a Hall of Fame coach right there. You don't let him go, because if you let him go, who you gonna replace him with? If you replace him with Sean Payton, okay. But if you can't do that, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So nah, he can stay. I'm not really sold on Roman. I really don't care on his job's behalf. So if we want to, go get the enemy or something like that, start whooping up on Patrick. Start whooping up on Patrick Mahomes. Nah, if he's not getting a head coaching job, he's not leaving Kansas City. But
is it now that we've got the wild card games in the books? We're gonna stay on the Ravens. And speaking of speaking of your starting quarterback, Lamar Jackson, are they gonna pay him? Are they gonna let him go? What is going to happen to Lamar Jackson? What do you think, KJ? What do you think is going to happen? Not what you hope is going to happen, because I know what you hope is going to happen. But what do you actually think in your heart of hearts? Like, if you had once again, we are keeping it 10 toes down. What do you think is going to happen?
I think, before I tell y'all what's going to happen, I'm going to tell y'all what I think. I think it is a compelling argument on both sides, because you have the Baltimore Ravens, who have not had said quarterback who wants this contract for X amount of games, and y'all almost beat the Cincinnati Bengals. If it wasn't for a play or whatever, you know what I'm saying, y'all probably would have went on and faced Buffalo. But on the flip side of that, if y'all had said quarterback who wanted this money, y'all probably would have beat him. And y'all definitely would have had a chance to beat Buffalo. So it's kind of just like, what do you do? I personally think that they're going to pay Lamar Jackson. Because what else are they going to do? If they don't have Lamar Jackson, who's going to be their quarterback?
Tyler Huntley.
No, please stop. They literally tailored their whole, since Joe Flacco mid-season, they literally tailored their whole offense around Lamar Jackson. So they would really, and we don't have another backup quarterback in the wings for us to tailor another offense for
Tyler Huntley.
No. Nah. I can't see it. He needs to stay a backup for Lamar Jackson specifically. I mean, he can go back up. Hurts, I can see that. But anyway, yeah, no, they need to pay Lamar Jackson because they have no other option. Honestly, they need to keep John Harbaugh, because they have no other option. They need to pay Lamar Jackson. Maybe not give him an astronomical contract, but I think Lamar Jackson might be one of the first. I think he's trying to be one of the first guaranteed contracts in the NFL, fully guaranteed. I think that's what he's
you mean guaranteed long-term contracts? Because the first fully guaranteed one was Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. However, whatever number that is, I think he's pushing for that, and I hope he does get. You don't need to give him $400 million guaranteed. Give him $200 million guaranteed. Call it a day. Build your offense, and because we were working good at defense, especially after giving Roquan Smith 5 years, $100 million. So yeah, just put weapons. Trade for DeAndre Hopkins.
I mean, my thing is, KJ, and you mentioned that extension for Roquan Smith. I think that's another thing that really pissed Lamar off.
Oh, for sure.
So my in my heart of hearts, I think Lamar is gone because once again, you mentioned the $100 million for Roquan Smith. How does that look? If I'm a Lamar Jackson, I'm your franchise quarterback. All right. I was that
I've been
last
here
pick of the.
forever.
I was that last first round pick of that Ozzie Newsome. That Ozzie Newsome last gift to the Ravens was to give them a franchise quarterback in Lamar Jackson. And you give a guy that you just traded for this year, mid-season, and you're gonna just here's $100 million, bam. I understand not fully guaranteed, but still, here's $100 million, bam. But you didn't give me that. You didn't give me that. You didn't give me a contract like that. I'm not saying. Well, of course, he's looking for like more than just $100 million, but still, you didn't give me that security. You didn't give me a contract extension that I wanted, that I liked, and I'm your franchise quarterback. Oh, bro, we done. We done. I ain't got nothing to say to y'all. I don't wanna be around y'all and all that. Also, shouts out real quick. Also, shouts out to RG3 because Lamar was getting a lot of slander because he did not travel with the team, and then I saw on RG3's Instagram post, and then he is him reporting that the reason why he didn't travel with the team is because he was sick. Am I correct? Because he had an illness, and so RG3 was like, "Listen, man, let's stop pumping out this false narrative about Lamar Jackson that he's not a team player and all that stuff." And for the people that were mad, and question, KJ, were you mad that before him being sick came out, were you mad that Lamar Jackson did not travel with the team for the playoff game?
Absolutely not, because he's not playing. He's looking for a contract.
But what about the people that are saying that, hey, you're still a franchise quarterback, you're the leader, you still need to be there for your guys, not be selfish
Look at him every other game. Like, he is the man. He is the leader. He is the quarterback. He is the juice on the team. Like, everybody loved him on the what's it called. I feel like if it was an issue, the players would have had a problem with it. You definitely would have known. So if I don't feel like the players got an issue with it, I don't have an issue with it, given the certain circumstances. Now, if he was under contract, yeah, absolutely, you should be there. But we know what's going on.
Yeah, but personally, I think Lamar Jackson is like, if keeping it 10 toes, I just have a strange feeling I think he might be gone because I feel like now the Ravens do, like I said, your team, the Ravens, they do have a they do have a point. If I'm like I said, getting my businessman hat on, I make a 200 plus 250, however, guaranteed investment in you if I don't even know you're gonna be healthy a full season. These last 2 years, honestly, even outside of his MVP year, he's always getting hurt. Every year outside of his MVP year, he's gotten hurt. He has not been able to play a full season. Also, you've only won one playoff game. So, you have not taken me to at least an AFC Championship game. So, what? I'm just stating the facts. I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm looking at it from the Ravens' point of view. Why do I need to sign you to a $250 million guaranteed contract? I'm not going to do what the Cardinals did with Kyler Murray. Because if I'm the Ravens, I can bring up the Kyler Murray situation. Same thing. The only thing is Kyler Murray has only been to the playoffs once, and has not even won the playoff game. So why should I do that same thing? Why should I? Why should I? Yes, you are my franchise quarterback. Yes, you give me the best chance to win. But do you give me the best chance to win a championship? Because if I give you $200 million guaranteed, I am expecting you to win me a championship. I'm expecting you to be able to I expect my invest be able to get a 100% return, or if not more, 150% more in return on that investment that I'm putting into you. Like I said, that means a Super Bowl. That means you starting all
that mean a Super Bowl
17
and a
games.
half.
Yeah, a Super Bowl. Really, probably 2 Super Bowls. I'm expecting. Well, I really,
and a loss.
really, just honestly, really just one Super Bowl. Because look at Aaron Rodgers. He's been the franchise quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. He's only won 1 Super Bowl throughout his whole entire career and hasn't even been back to it since. So let's go ahead. So that's why I just say 1 Super Bowl. All right. So just keeping it 10 toes. But yeah, if the Ravens,
I think that if the Ravens, I think the argument that Lamar Jackson has for the Ravens is, yes, he's only won 1 playoff game, and yes, they haven't been to the Super Bowl and this, that, and third. But every year they've gotten him, he's gotten visibly better. Whether that's running less, passing more accurately, passing for touchdowns, having that many interceptions. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you can think of, Lamar Jackson gets better every year.
But what about the health?
Not only does he get better every year, but he gets better every year, and y'all not putting any weapons around him for real. Yes, he has Mark Andrews, but that's it. Name another receiver. Bateman hurt all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all had to bring in Sammy Watkins that didn't do anything.
Oh, come on, Sammy Watkins. Are you serious?
Nothing. Nothing. Y'all brought in Deshaun Jackson.
The corpse of Deshaun Jackson.
Right. Right. Like, we have a receiver named Prochet. Do y'all know who that is? Y'all do not. I ain't even going to get into it. But
I would also ask, though, what about with the health thing? Because that's also playing a part in it.
That's true. That's also true. But what else are they going to do? They either going to pay Lamar Jackson or completely restart. And then you're going to end up like the Chicago Bears and only have a good defense and no offense.
But honestly, they completely restart.
The opposite of Chicago.
I'm going to be honest. If you're going to completely restart, then completely restart. I'm talking about even get rid of John Harbaugh too. If you're going to hit a reset button, hit a reset button, because John Harbaugh's been your head coach for 15 years right now. I think he became your head coach in 2008 when y'all got Joe Flacco, right?
Yep.
I believe so. So that's how long he's been there. If you're going to restart, hit a restart. I believe that's also playing a part in the Ravens extending him too, because I think the Ravens might be thinking about getting rid of John Harbaugh. Now, I don't understand, KJ, you're against that, but just because you're against that doesn't mean the Ravens organization isn't. Their ownership isn't.
I just want to know who we replace. If we getting rid of people, who we're replacing them with.
Your guess is as good as mine, man.
Right. We out here guessing. We don't need to be guessing with $200 million. We need to go with what we know. And I hope the Ravens have one of the best defenses in the league. We know that the Ravens have one of the best rushing offenses in the league. We know that the Ravens have an MVP quarterback. We know that the Ravens have a Hall of Fame head coach. We know the Ravens have continuity in a good organization. We know we can get to the playoffs. All we need to know is, can we put weapons around Lamar? Legit weapons around Lamar. That's it.
So do you think the reason why Lamar gets hurt a lot and has to kind of run in her line is because of the lack of weapons?
He is the entire team. We have, yes, J.K. Dobbins is a good running back, but we have a running back by committee. We run 3 running backs a game. And our 300-pound fullback sometimes in Ricard. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't really have any weapons. Not even in the running game. We just run the ball all the time. And it works because Lamar Jackson is such a polarizing player. He can run it and he can throw it. And he can take your ankles and throw them on the other side of the field until you go get them next week. But he doesn't have like a really good runner. He doesn't have like a star running back or nothing like that. He doesn't have a number one receiver. It's not a tight end. Like, there's only so much Lamar can do. So I think that they need to re-sign Lamar and they need to get him what he needs.
Now, question. Oh, sorry. Okay. You go ahead.
No,
or what? But if let's say let's deal with the probably not even this is probably not even hypothetical. This is probably a good chance of this happening. But if Lamar does in fact leave the Ravens, where do you see him going if he does not re-sign with the Ravens?
If he doesn't re-sign with the Ravens, where do I see him going?
Yes.
Ooh. I'm going to give you a few things where I feel like he could go. The first team, I would say would be the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
Because if he is already coming from a system where he is just running the ball and handing the ball off and doing play action, why not go run the ball off and hand the ball off to Derrick Henry, one of the best dominant running backs in the league? The Titans would have to fix some stuff on the
I was about to say, but you still running the same problem where the Titans don't really have any good wide receiver helps other than rookie
Trey. At least they have a star running back to where they can take some pressure off of Lamar Jackson.
Okay, that's fair.
So I think that Tennessee would be an intriguing place for him to go. I could also see Lamar Jackson going to the San Francisco 49ers and playing with Christian McCaffrey. Wow. I think that right there, like, I don't know if they want to keep Brock Purdy or make him the QB1 for next year, this, that, and the third, but Lamar Jackson in San Francisco sounds like a Super Bowl winning team to me. With that defense and Kyle Shanahan, yeah. I can see him going there. And I guess the only other team that kind of where he would maybe go to would be the Jets. Maybe they got good receivers. They have a good running back, defense.
But do they really have any weapons though?
They have Garrett. They have not Olave. They have Garrett Wilson. They have what's their running back that got hurt this year? Breece Hall.
Oh, yeah.
They have Breece Hall.
But is Breece Hall like a number one running back? Like, I don't know. I think
he was killing it when he was healthy.
Yes, sir. But I think if he goes to the Jets, but I think if you put Lamar on the Jets, it's like wash, rinse, repeat of the Ravens, except probably maybe a little bit of a worse version. Yeah, a little bit of a worse version. So, I've actually been giving this some thought. Like, I've really been thinking, like, what team would Lamar go to? Now, my Commanders did cross my mind. The only reason why, because this seems like a perfect, like, if Lamar Jackson comes available, this seems like a perfect Dan Snyder move. And so he's gonna think, like, listen, I messed up with RG3. Maybe I can do the right thing with Jackson. And I'm like, no, hell no, please no. But because we don't have the right infrastructure for him to succeed. Yes, we may have the weapons for him in Scary with like Scary Terry, Johan Dotson, Dynami Brown, Curtis Samuel. Like we've actually got some wide receivers, people. But But yeah, no, not behind our offensive line. Hell no. Um, your 49ers pick. I like that. It's hard for me to imagine Lamar Jackson in the 49ers. I think they might want to see what they have in
Purdy.
Trey Lance first.
Oh yeah. Honestly, if I had a chance between Trey Lance and Lamar Jackson as the 49ers are a dynasty away from a pretty good quarterback. Like I mean pretty good quarterback away from a dynasty. Like
yeah,
if they get somebody like Lamar Jackson, bro, I'm trading Trey Lance to Tennessee or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? And getting some draft capital, and you don't even what would you even need to do? Just bolster the offensive line, make sure Lamar don't get touched. Like, bro, that I'm just afraid of San Francisco rolling the dice on a quarterback.
I'm really trying to.
How
about Lamar Jackson in Tampa Bay?
Nah, that would never work because they don't have a running game. Their defense is alright, but
yeah, true.
I think that a good team that Lamar Jackson can go to would be the Indianapolis Colts, and let me tell you why. Because go ahead.
No, go ahead, because I really want to hear this. I really want to hear this.
I was gonna say, so you're looking for a team with a pretty stable organization and with offensive weapons and a good line and everything like that. The Colts have a pretty good offensive line. They also have a really good running back in Jonathan Taylor. They also have offensive weapons. They're pretty good on defense.
Who are the offensive weapons?
But the Michael Pittman, come on, man, Michael Pittman good.
I understand. I understand Michael Pittman, but outside of that,
yeah. But I mean, you have Lamar Jackson, so you really only need a running back and a receiver. He'd be all right. But the thing that gets me with the Colts the most is the fact that the Colts play in a dome, so you really don't have to worry about your extravagant quarterback weather like that. So you can expect to know what his passes are going to look like, and you're going to know that if it's cold outside, his legs ain't going to stiff up because you're playing a dome. You know what I'm saying? So I think that would be good for Lamar Jackson as well. So my top three would be the Colts, the Tennessee Titans, and number one by far is the Niners. If you were to leave the Ravens.
What about Lamar Jackson on the Vikings? You got Dalvin Cook. You got Justin Jefferson, a bona fide number one wide receiver. Oh no, there's one place better, KJ, that you're forgetting. I know the perfect landing spot for Lamar Jackson. Guess where it is?
The Carolina Panthers.
Oh, hell no, man.
Where?
The Miami Dolphins.
Stop it.
The Miami Dolphins, no, seriously. Think about it. You got two wide. You got no. Hear me out. The first of all, Lamar Jackson has a stronger arm than Tua Tagovailoa. They need a guy that Lamar Jackson can throw that ball downfield. Come on, you got two great wide receivers in Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. You've got even though you don't have a number one running back, but you have a stable of running backs that Mike McDaniels likes to use. You got a solid young coach in Mike McDaniels. Come on, man.
No, that would be amazing. And you have a good defense.
Exactly.
But they wouldn't. They stick it with Tua.
Hell, what if I could? Lamar Jackson, Miami. That is my number one. I don't need anything else. Lamar Jackson. I feel like that is the perfect landing spot for him. If I'm the Miami Dolphins, I would try if Lamar Jackson comes available. I'm sorry, Tua. You need to ride the bench. I'm sorry. I'm going now. The bad part is you're going to have two quarterbacks with injury problems, Tua with his concussions, and then Lamar Jackson with his knees, ankles. But I think the reason why but I also believe that the reason why Lamar Jackson gets hurt constantly is because that he doesn't have consistent weapons with the Ravens, so he has to rely on his athleticism a lot more instead of relying on him being able to pass the ball. Excuse me. So
that would be a track team. Lamar Jackson on the Dolphins. That'd be like the equivalent to the Miami Hurricanes back in the day. They'd be
I'm
so
just
nasty.
saying. See now you're coming around. Now you're starting to see him out. I'm telling you.
They'd be so nasty. Oh man.
I'm with it.
If they weren't committed to Tua, I know for a fact that they would be trying to make that happen.
They ain't committed to Tua.
They said he was going to be the quarterback for next year.
That's what they say.
That's what I saw. Right.
No, that's what they say.
What they do is go try to get Lamar.
Yeah, like that. But they have to say that to keep Tua's confidence up. But the Miami Dolphins don't really have that much faith.
Could you see Lamar on the Saints?
Oh no, no. Maybe if Sean Payton's there, maybe this was like 5-6 years ago with Sean Payton and they still had a bunch of weapons and stuff like that, and they also had, I can see that, but yeah, not now, no. But let's talk about another quarterback. All right, let's get off Jackson talk. Let's talk about another quarterback. Let's talk about the greatest quarterback, universally known as the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady. KJ, do you think this last game against the Cowboys was Tom Brady's last game? This past game against the Cowboys was Tom Brady's last game. Do you think?
No, I absolutely do. But should it be? Absolutely. It should. It's time to retire. It's your time, Tom. Like, you did what you done. You had accolades. You know what I'm saying? You've done everything. I understand. You might not have wanted to go out in this type of way. And that is the reason why I feel like he is going to come back, because we know anything about Tom Brady is he is a competitor and he wants to be the best always. So, Tom might play until either he break a leg or he wins Super Bowl, whichever comes first. But I think it's just time for Tom to retire, bro. Like, you've done everything that you can do. Like, what's another Super Bowl? 7
for him. Yeah, 8. Yeah, I guess he wants. I guess he wants to be emphatically. I think he wants to really. He was touching 7, but
bro, there are organizations. Most of the league not touching 7. Actually, I think the only one that got 7 is the Patriots.
No, the Patriots have 6, man.
Have 6, so he has more than every franchise. Like, you don't even have to worry about it, bro. Just go retire. You ain't gotta worry about it.
Yeah, but
you got passing records, like, man.
Yeah, he's definitely in my mind and greatest quarterback of all time. Now, since you believe that he's not retiring, what team do you think he's going to next? Because do you think he stays on the Bucs, or what team do you think he goes to?
I think that he stays on the Bucs, but I think that were to go to another team, I mean, the two teams that we were just talking about, the 49ers and the Dolphins, I think those teams will be Tom Brady friendly as well, because Tom Brady really doesn't have to do anything, and you have all these weapons to just play with at your disposal, and you have 2 good defenses. So he wouldn't go nowhere like the Raiders or nothing like that, because y'all have too much going on for him to even sniff y'all with.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? So, Tom, 49ers, Tom, Miami. That's the only places I can see if he doesn't stay with Tampa Bay. But I think I think he should stay with Tampa Bay.
You know what you know what team he's going to?
Where the Seahawks.
No, your local YMCA because you need to retire, man. All right, your local YMCA. That's the team you need to play for. Okay, Tom Brady, you need to retire. All right, we this year you're washed. Okay, I don't care what the 4,000 plus yards say. I watched your games. You play like ass. Even in your 8 wins, about half of those wins you played like absolute. If not 8 of at least if not half of those, 6 or 7 of those, you played like absolute ass, and your defense kept you in the game. Because believe me, if in a lot of your wins this season, if your defense allowed more than like 17 points, hell, if they allowed 18 points, 19 points, hell, just 20 points, y'all would have lost a lot more games. It's over, Tom Brady. It's over. Now, like you, KJ, I think he's going to be like, I need to get one more year in me. If that's the case, Tom Brady, go to the Dolphins. I think that's your best case scenario because they have a tight end in Mike Gesicki, Penn State product, baby, all day. Because Tom Brady does well when he has a very good tight end going down in the seams. That's why him and Gronk. That's what was missing from the offense this year. Even though he still had Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. Even though Julio Jones was kind of washed, he was still serviceable in some way, but
some sense of the word.
Exactly. But yeah, Tom Brady was still washed. I don't care what I said. He was still washed. Looking at the Tom Brady the season before this one and this season, yeah, washed. Sorry. Don't care. But what team? I think the Dolphins will be like his best bet. Though I'm a huge fan of Lamar Jackson going to the Dolphins. Just oh my God! Just imagine that offense, man.
Track team. Hey, track team. Do you hear
just imagine they like running gadget plays with you can run gadget play with Tyreek. Just imagine a read option with Tyreek Hill. Just imagine a triple option. Just imagine a triple option with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and then Lamar Jackson. They got defense. They're like, how the hell is this much? But enough of it. Enough of the good old quarterback talk. Let's go ahead and get into this coming week. It's hard to get into the divisional round of the playoffs. And you know what we're going to do. We always going to begin with our divisional round with our, well, not really pick 6, weekly pick 4. We only got 4 games up, all right? Only 4 games up on the divisional round. We're going to start with our picks. All right, so we started with the divisional round. When the first game, we're going to start with first thing. We're going to pick the Saturday afternoon game. We get the Jaguars at the Chiefs. KJ, who are you picking?
Again, the Jaguars cannot be out here turning the ball over all willy-nilly. And I think this game, they play a clean game and they don't turn the ball over that much. And that will result in the Jaguars. They're not Patrick Mahomes finna whoop their butt. And they finna go home because they really don't deserve to be in the playoffs anyway. Y'all just in a bad division. All right, better luck next year. Go ahead.
I'm picking the upset.
Wow.
I got the Jags beating the Chiefs because I feel like people ain't giving them a chance. This is just like Saxonville 2017. A lot of people didn't give them a chance. A lot of people underestimated them. And guess what? They proved people wrong. I got them winning. I got them beating the Chiefs 31-28. Sorry.
31 is their lucky number.
Huh?
31 is their lucky number.
Exactly. All right, but the next game we're going to go ahead and pick is the divisional game. The Giants at the Eagles. KJ, what you got?
I think I'm going for the series sweep. I think this week is the week that's just going to shake out all the teams who really don't have that much of a Super Bowl, really don't have that much of Super Bowl aspirations. So again, for me, the Jaguars are losing, and the Giants are going home too because the Eagles are just a better team. Point blank period.
I'm going with the back-to-back upsets. I'm going with the Giants. Yes. Listen, I'm feeling dangerous. I'm like Baker Mayfield. I woke up feeling dangerous. I'm going with the Giants 24-20. All right, this is the reason why. I said earlier in the podcast, the Giants are the ultimate underdog team. All right? They always go on these playoff runs, these Super Bowl runs, when everybody thinks, they're not going to do that. They're not good enough. They pull off upset after upset after upset. I feel like this might be the year. All right. Now, am I going to say the Giants are going to win the Super Bowl? I ain't there yet, but I think they're going to beat the Eagles. Also, it is hard to beat a team 3 times in a season. There's not a lot of times. Every single time I've seen in the playoffs when that divisional team when that division rival got to face that team that the third time in the playoffs. It's usually not a good thing. I'm going with the Giants. That's my logic. That's why I'm picking them. There's really no football logic that tells me that the Giants are going to win, but I'm going with the Giants. But the next game we're going to pick is the Bengals at the Bills. This game was supposed to be played on Monday night. We're glad that Damar Hamlin is getting better. This was the Damar Hamlin game. It's unfortunate that this was known. This game earlier this season was known like that, but we're just happy that our prayers for Damar Hamlin worked and he's doing better. So KJ, who you got?
I think that, if I'm not mistaken, the Bengals were up 7-3 by the time that situation happened. And honestly, I think they're gonna be up again this game because they have better. Yes, the Bills have Josh Allen, but the Bengals, I feel like, a better overall team, a better rounded out team, if I should say so myself, because they have better weapons. They have a better running back. They have 3 better receivers, like Joe Cool, Joe Shiesty, Joe Net, whatever you want to call him. That's the man right there. He needs to make sure that Buffalo defense, that front 7, doesn't get after him, because if they do, it's going to be a long day for the Bengals. But if the Bengals can play that game, I'm definitely going for Joe Burrow.
I'm going with my MVP, Josh mother freaking Allen. Got to go with him. But I think this is going to be the game of the week. I feel like this game is going to mirror the Kansas City Chiefs and Bills game last year. All right. I think it's going to be that close. It's going to be that exciting. It's going to be a very great game, but I got the Bills going to win this game 38-31 over the Bengals. And then the last game we're going to choose is the Dallas Cowgirls, Dallas Cowboys, at the San Francisco 49ers. Man, for those of you fans of 90s NFL football, this gave you a flashback to Troy Aikman versus Steve Young. Especially that gave you flashbacks to all those times where the 49ers and the Cowboys kept on meeting in the in the NFC Championship game in the 90s. All right. But KJ, who you got?
I'm conflicted because
you're a Cowboys fan.
I am not. I am not. I don't know because now I always say go with the better quarterback,
Yep.
but the Niners are the better team easily. And honestly, this is like a battle to see, like, because neither one of them can like meet in the Super Bowl. So this is a battle to see like who's the better fifth Super Bowl winning team. But I think the Niners are going to come out victorious because again, that boy Christian McCaffrey is a cheat code. Let me tell y'all.
I'm going with the 49ers in a very close one. I think the Cowboys hang tough. This is going to be a very, very close game. But I think the 49ers are the better team. Like I said, if the Cowboys win this game, I'm actually going to give them their props, all right? I'm going to hate it. I'm going to grit my teeth and do it. But I'm going to give them their props. But I'm not going to put too much stock in that and then beating the Buccaneers. I'm not, all right? I knew that they were going to beat the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers did not look like a playoff team all season. All right. But I still think I'm going with a better team. 49ers are the better built team, even though they do have a rookie. But like you said on this podcast, KJ, they're quarterback proof, basically.
Quarterback proof. It don't mean nothing.
They
literally start a foundation. Every year they can have a new player at quarterback, and that could just be like a random fan, and they just that's their donation, whatever they pay him that year. Hand the ball off to Christian.
Exactly. That's all we need you to do, and make a couple passes here and there. But can't wait to watch these divisional round games. Definitely. MC Ron, like I said, MC Ron's feeling dangerous. I picked two upsets, so I'm ready. I'm ready. All I know is that I feel like two upsets are going to happen this week at the end of the day. Now, I may have picked the wrong two upsets, but I just have a straight feeling two upsets are going to happen. But we're going to go ahead and leave the football field and talk a little bit of NBA basketball. We're going to talk about just a little bit of NBA basketball. And NBA basketball starts and ends with the face of the National Basketball Association still to this day. Yes, he may not be the best player in the league, but he is still the face of the league, LeBron James. All right. And for people who say, what about Luka, Steph? No, none of these guys are the face of the league. It's still LeBron James until LeBron James decided to, hey, I'm going to hang it up. But LeBron James is now officially the second person to reach 38,000 career points. Now, he is chasing Kareem. KJ, how many points is LeBron James away from passing by the all-time scoring mark?
A whopping 315.
Oh, now, I have a question, all right? And the reason why we weren't going to do a basketball topic, but I actually have a question for KJ, since you believe LeBron's your GOAT, and do you still believe that he's the best? This is not my question, but I believe you still believe that he's the best player in the league.
I won't say the best. He is the greatest player in the league, but I won't say the best one.
Gotcha. But do you think, this is my question, do you think him trying to chase Kareem is going to end up hurting the Lakers in the long run?
I think that him chasing Kareem this year is kind of not. I don't think it's really a distraction, honestly. I think this if there was going to be any year that he would be chasing Kareem, it would have been this one because you got Westbrook acclimating some more, and then you have obviously they reshuffle their deck every year, and then you have AD's health. So like if it was going to be any year, I think it was going to be this year. And I really do think that honestly putting Westbrook on the bench was the best thing for the team. You allow Westbrook to function within the offense on his own will, but you also have LeBron James basically telling him, hey man, you know what I'm saying, we know that you've been the best all around basketball player in the league ever since you've been in. But people been sleeping on your offensive ability. Go ahead and go out there and score 47 points a night at the age of 62. Like, bruh. I'm really amazed at the fact that like a couple weeks ago I was like, yeah, LeBron James is like he got like 700 points to go. Now he's at 315. That means if we break that math down, that means before the All-Star break, that means he has 15 games to average. Yeah, he has to average 21 points across the span of 15 games in order to break Kareem's record. This man been dropping 38, 41, 47, 32, 55. Like, he been dropping all these type of points. He's definitely going to get there. And he got to play the Kings tonight. Oh, that's another 35.
Also, the King Brian's team that I really find it funny how people are now getting on the Kings bandwagon. What I first guessed this, as what Skip Bayless said, I first guessed this. But yeah, I was already on the bandwagon. You thought I was crazy, KJ, when I was picking them to be a playoff team. I just saw what they had with Harrison Barnes, Malik Monk, Domantas Sabonis, my man De'Aaron Fox. All of that, like I saw all of that coming together. I saw this whole team coming together. I'm like, I saw it from last season, and I was like, this team looks like it's on the rise. It was coming up. So yeah, but I think in the long run, LeBron chasing Kareem is going to hurt him and the Lakers. Now, knock on wood, I hope that does not happen, but you're putting your all into basically chasing a scoring title instead of trying to. Is LeBron even trying to make the playoffs? I mean, personally, I feel like you shouldn't. Because, like I said, I think that at best Lakers can hope for a 10th seed. I predicted them to be a 10th seed at best. I predicted them to be a 10th seed in the West. I mean, so far, so good. I mean, they're not a completely garbage team, but they're a very incomplete team. Especially without Anthony Davis. Speaking of which, when is Anthony Davis supposed to come back? Do you know?
No idea. They're trying to say he can come back before the All-Star break, but I don't think he should do that. You could have him come back after the All-Star break.
Huh.
That's what I think.
But yeah, because my thing is, LeBron, your main thing is if you're trying to at least win one more championship with the Lakers, if you want to disprove that bubble championship was not a Mickey Mouse ring, even though I maintain that it's not. Because if he would have lost that finals against the Heat, y'all would have counted against him. But because he won it, y'all don't want to count it for him. My thing is, if you're going to count against him, if he lost, count it for him when he wins. Keep it consistent. Anyway, yeah, I just have a strange feeling that's going to hurt him in the end. It's going to hurt the Lakers, the team in the end, and it's going to cause the Lakers to miss the playoff. Not miss the playoffs, or lose out in the play-in or something like that. But either way, I still didn't think they were that good of a team. Also, in basketball news, just I did a quick public service announcement. Wizards, we need to tank. Stop winning games we don't need to. I set the cap at like 25 to 30, and that 30 was really pushing. Really, we need to get it slightly under that. Really, 25 to 28 at best. And I don't know if we're still beating the Knicks, but we were beating the Knicks at halftime. I don't need to see that. I don't. Oh, crap. We beat the Knicks. We beat them. That's 19 wins in a season.
Go ahead and get used to the fact that Wembanyama is either going to be playing. He's either going to be a Piston, hopefully, or a Hornet. Hopefully, he's with the Pistons.
We're gonna win 35. We're gonna win 35 games and pick like the 10th or 11th. That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna win like 35 games. We're gonna be like 35 and 47, or we're gonna be like 30. We're gonna win. This is gonna happen. We're gonna win. We're gonna miss the playoffs. We're gonna miss the play-in and the playoffs. We're gonna be like a 12th seed with like 35 to 38 wins, somewhere around that. And it's gonna be another wasted season. It just like we were doing so good when we were on a 10-game losing streak. We were doing so good. I was like, yes, really. Like, yes. I was like, okay. I was on board. Like, yes, we lost 10 in a row. We're tanking for Wemby. All right, cool. And then we started to win again. I'm like, what happened? Why is Wes Unseld trying to save his job? Like, no, man, I don't care. I'm trying to get a generational talent. But I'm gonna forget about that. Also, another thing I have to add is sports social media, whether it's on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, pisses me off. It really does. KJ, guess what I saw on sports TikTok, on TikTok today? On sports TikTok. Somebody literally said, if Luka was on the Miami Heat from, 10 to, when LeBron, if you place Miami Heat LeBron with Luka, he said the Heat they win all the finals, they don't lose the finals. They go undefeated. They go to the finals all 4 years and they go 4-0.
That's crazy to say because Luka Doncic don't even have a championship now. Like, he hasn't even been to a finals now.
Now, I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I was like, people, I thought recency bias was bad, but that's just downright atrocious. Like, come on. Like, what? First of all, do y'all even see that? And like I said, this is how recency. I know recency bias got a hold of everybody. Like, they look at Luka like, oh look, yeah, he would definitely like not realizing that Miami Brown was the best version of LeBron. It's not what LeBron was doing as a scorer, as a playmaker, but also as a defender. Defensively, this man in Miami was locked down. This man in 2013 should have won Defensive Player of the Year. People were literally saying in 2013 that Marc Gasol stole a Defensive Player of the Year from LeBron James because that was the year that LeBron James should have won Defensive Player of the Year and MVP. Like, that's how good he was on the defensive end in Miami.
No defense.
Like, people, sports social media, whether you're on TikTok, if you're going to talk about sports, whether on whatever platform you are, please don't let recency bias have that much of a hold on you. Like, I try not to let my rose tint. I'm trying not to let nostalgia have that much of a hold on me when talking about like players from the past. It's kind of hard to do that, but like, come on, bro. Like, And I'm also sick and tired of Luka LeBron comparisons because Luka does not play like LeBron. He plays like he plays like James Harden. He plays like James Harden.
Luka plays like
Rockets James Harden.
Magic and Bird. Luka play like Bird.
Nah, I say he plays like he plays like Rockets James Harden, man. He's Rockets James Harden just elevated. All right, he's Rockets James Harden to just another level because he actually shows up in the playoffs. But yeah, he's the elevated version of Rockets James Harden. All right, but I'm just saying. People keep on saying Luka needs help, but I'm going to say this. If the Mavericks do not get back to the conference finals, they lose in the first round, you might want to start looking at Luka. I'm just saying. Luka needs another ball handler to take the ball out of his hands, to make sure he gets the ball out of his hands. I'm just saying. But we're going to end this how we always do with our last second shout outs. So, KJ, who in the sports world do you have to shout out?
I know we already talked about him today, but I want to go ahead and shout out LeBron James and his old behind for being the youngest player in NBA history to reach 38,000 points. Only joining Mr. Kareem himself on the list to ever even reach that number.
Well, my shout out goes to American Mackenzie McDonald. He beat Rafa Nadal in the first round of the Australian Open. As you all know, in the sports world, the Australian Open is going on 2023. He ousted Rafael Nadal, the fake defending champion. Yes, I am still salty about Djokovic not being able to play in the Australian Open in 2022. I am still upset about that because he should have been the first one to break that 2020 tie between him, Roger Federer, and Rafael Nadal. But guess what? Because the Australian... Okay, I've already... Shouts out. This is about Mackenzie McDonald. You played the game of your life. You beat Nadal in straight sets. Which, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit happy about. Now, yeah, I know Nadal got hurt during the game, but listen, he continued the game. Listen, he beat the fake defending champion. That's all I care about. Now I'm not happy that Nadal got hurt or anything. Like, I don't want that to be happy. Like I said, even though I love watching Nadal play, but shouts out to Mackenzie McDonald. But that's all the time we have, folks. I am MC Ron with his co-host.
It's Kenneth.
And we are keeping it 10 toes down. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be on the show and talk your sports stuff with the best in the business, all you have to do is one of two things. The first thing is send an email to keepingit10toesdown@gmail.com. That is keepingit10toesdown@gmail.com. Or send us a direct message on Instagram. That is at keepingit10toes, at keepingit10toes. It's going to be an interesting divisional round. I still believe in Danny Dimes, man. I think Danny Dimes is going to do his thing. I'm just saying. If the Giants go on another fluke-like run, another Eli Manning-like run with Daniel Jones, ultimate underdogs. But that's all the time we have, folks. Y'all have a good night.
Beautiful world, but ugly people running it. 10% living good, rest of us slumming it. When they seeing you and your people be bumming it. Put a McDonald's by your hood and swear you be loving it. But you ain't trained to see through lies.